Fresh out of the mailbox, got a fragrance in from City Rhythm called Barcelona. You gotta do it with the theta. And the notes of the fragrance look pretty sick. And the City Rhythm lineup for an indie niche house has been getting a lot of buzz. The Miami fragrances seem to have hit crazy. I think the other one is like, what, Nashville? And they have a few others that have a decent amount of buzz online. So is Barcelona gonna be one of them? Sorry, Barcelona gonna be one of them? We'll soon find out. Let's roll my music so we can unbox City Rhythm's Barcelona.
We're all alone in the love, really, yeah. There's some friends on the south side in case you cared. Out of all your friends, I want to be Cuba.
Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know what it is. It's your boy, 𝗙𝗿𝗕𝗂𝘂𝗏. Shout out to City Rhythm for sponsoring today's video and sending this fragrance over for me to check out. Here is the presentation of City Rhythm's Barcelona, which is similar to the other City Rhythm fragrances. If you're not familiar with the City Rhythm lineup, they have a few fragrances that, as I mentioned on the intro, have a decent amount of buzz in that indie niche space. 𝗏𝐻 has been putting in the work and putting out fragrances that seem to be symbolic to certain cities all across the globe, hence Barcelona. There's Miami, there's New York, and a few other major cities all across the globe. So I want to see what type of energy this particular fragrance has. But on the postcard are some notes. And the notes of this fragrance consist of sparkling wine, pomegranate, bitter orange, red wine, cherry, rose, cedar, sandalwood, amber, chocolate, and musk. So it seems to have little elements there of like sangria. That's kind of what kind of pops to my head with the sparkling accent. Oh, they got the little red charms and stuff. Like, he's put all these funky shits on some of these fragrances. One had a whip in it, had fun with that, and all these little nipple tassels and all these random things, including that, in all his packages. So he cares, man. He's putting a little extra flavor, so that's what's up. And here is what this presentation looks like. White cap. It's got the beautiful mountain kind of thing on the bottom that you see on like some shot glass or whiskey glasses all across. So presentation is important, but we're here for the juice, right? And if I get any kind of Barcelona type energy. I've never been to Barcelona, unfortunately. I think next year I'm gonna be taking a trip over to Spain. Hopefully Barcelona will be one of the stops, although I think Barcelona is not trying to have any kind of tourism. We shall see, but let's see what type of time and energy City Rhythm Barcelona is on. Wow, that sparkling wine is incredible. Holy shit, it's very sharp and pungent actually. The sparkling wine adds the effervescent energy, but there's a fermented grapey fruit wine energy here that's a little bit weird. It is like really strong, potent wine, like smells like it was just extracted from the actual barrel. It's fucking strong. I'm not gonna front. And I got mini goose pimples right now from this fragrance, but it's because it's a strong, tart, red, almost sour, bitter essence from this joint. The sparkling wine aspect is very loud, very effervescent. Actually, one of the most effervescent energies that I felt in a fragrance, if I'm gonna be completely transparent. But in a, I'm not gonna say in a negative way, but in a really fucking potent way. Like, I'm terrified to put this shit closer to my nose because it's pungent, it's strong. The red wine essence that I'm getting off of this joint feels fermented. All right, so it's starting to mellow out a little bit, but you still get a punchy, red, fermented, grapey, barrel-ish, very sparkling, very bright scent profile. And there is a strawberry-ish sweetness in this fragrance, almost candy-like, almost Jolly Rancher red watermelon energy subliminally in this fragrance. It's unusual on the texture. It's really, really pungent. Let me try on skin. It's a good fucking atomizer. Jesus Christ, it's aggressive. All right, chill. This is a lot. It's a lot. The sparkling champagne brute-ish type energy. Very vibe. Fuck. It's a lot. All right. It's a lot. In the air, it's a lot more pleasant than it is on skin, like really up close, because of that red wine. Like, it's almost photorealistically homemade red wine. I have relatives that live in Spain, actually a ton of relatives that live in Spain, and some of them like to really cultivate and fuck with wine. And if you've ever had like jarred wine with no label, and I'm not talking about like Carlos Rossi from the fucking liquor store, I'm talking about like jarred wine that has this really dense, thick, red burgundy fucking tinge. There's this natural sensation from it that isn't the most pleasing or fruitiness to it, but it's raw, if that makes sense. Much more tolerable on the skin, not as pungent. The sparkling effervescence really comes up. The bitter chocolate also comes up next to that, what I categorize as this strawberry kind of scent. Wildly different than anything else I've ever experienced. I'm gonna be 100% clear. Like, this is super fucking different. All right, starting to mellow out a little bit, and my skin is really starting to like translate this scent to my nose on the way it would on my skin. So I'm getting more bitter chocolate. It does have a pungent red sangria-ish energy with like topped off with like a brut, a very sharp, sparkling, fizzy champagne-ish kind of energy. I 100% get the synergy between Barcelona and this fragrance. I've never been, but I get it. I totally get it. Being of Spaniard descent, I 100% get it. Let me give it some time to do a real full dry down so I can really figure out how this fragrance is. Is it still gonna be sparkling and red wine punchy raw, or is it gonna calm down to be something a little bit more sexy on my skin? Let me give it some time. All right, it's been a couple of minutes. I've let it dry down. I haven't put my nose to it. Now I'm gonna give it its true translation, full dry down moment. Let's see what type of energy I'm getting off of City Rhythms Barcelona. Okay, so that red wine pungent really reduced a significant amount. The sparkling champagne brut energy is still the star of the show. The pomegranate situation like the palm juice, you do get that aspect. You smell the thickness of like red wine, like really strong, potent red wine. It is drastically better as far as that pungentness that I was getting off of the paper. Maybe it just counteracted a little crazy, and maybe that's how the essence of this fragrance is on the opening. But on this dry down, it's cava, it's red wine, it's dark chocolate, it's a little bit of a lavender adding some element of freshness. It's very artsy, and I think one of the most incredible interpretations of like a strong red wine potency and like a spirited champagne cava brut type sensation. A lovely artistic scent. I don't know how the masses are going to translate to this. This definitely seems more on the artsy side, but you gotta be a super fan of like red wine or sparkling brut champagne to really appreciate this essence. And if you're a world traveler or somebody who's descendants of Spain or been to Spain a ton of times and are a huge fan of Barcelona or Spain in general and get that sangria-esque essence, this shit is 100% it. Very creative, very artsy, very photorealistic as far as the picture that he's painting. So shout out to 𝗙𝐿𝑒 for really coming up with this concoction and pinpointing in my brain, although I've never been, what a Spaniard or Barcelona energy would be in a fragrance form. I love y'all mother suckers from the heart. I'll put a link in the description if you guys are interested in this photorealistic hybrid between red wine and sparkling champagne. And leave in the comments below if this is your type of energy and are you looking for something with more depth, more art, and vastly different from anything else in your collection. I'll see y'all bitches next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And you know who it is. Biggest in the game. Smooches.
Cubaknow, what's fresh, who's best? One of them's gonna pass the test. Cubaknow.
For the fly gun holder, money folder, motor roller, start tag when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.